And I always check the numbers and stuff like that, like everybody does.
Right.
And then this morning, I click on the all-time number list, and it turns out that the Chris and Kristine show had just passed. It's time for a little midweek motivation.
Who doesn't like a little something, something extra?
So hold on tight, because coming to you right now is the Chris and Kristine show bonus check episode. Hey, what's happening? How you guys doing today? I am Chris.
And I'm Kristine, and welcome to this week's bonus episode of the Chris and Kristine show.
Fantastic. How you guys doing today? It's the middle of the week. It is a very rainy Thursday afternoon in San Diego.
Right, in San Diego, which is kind of atypical for this time of the year. We typically don't get this much rain until May and June.
No. We get rain.
Oh, come on.
This is the rain season right now. We are going. Yes, it is. It is it's March and April. Actually, March is probably our heaviest rain season. It's always in March.
Then why do they call it May gray and June gloom?
That's because it gets cloudy and overcast. It's not raining, and I mean you do get little sprinkles, but the heaviest amount of rain is always February, March, April. April showers bring May flowers. You ever heard of that?
Yeah, I just thought that was like a San Diego exempt status. I thought that it was like always sunshiny in San Diego. You'd think after 4 years I'd get used to this. I just don't remember there being this much rain.
Well, there is. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Well, I thought I lived in paradise. You've just bursted my bubble. Thank you very much, Chris.
Yeah, everybody who's listening who does not live in San Diego, it's not all sunshine, beaches, and movie stars. I'm sorry to tell you. We do get very cold rain. It almost feels like Washington or Seattle, you know?
No, it doesn't. It's like 50 degrees.
What are you talking
Washington
about?
in Seattle is like 12.
Maybe it feels like 12 to me. I don't know. Speaking of which, I'm trying to find my favorite sweater in the closet. I couldn't find it. I don't know what happened to it. So I'm wearing this
which sweater is it?
It's the light gray one that I got from Vegas, and I don't know where it is. I can't find it. It's
check downstairs in the laundry room. Oh, there you go, everybody. Now you know I'm not in the same house as Chris right now. I'm not there because I am coming to you remotely from my car on my lunch break. And so, Chris, check in the laundry room when we're all done.
I will have to do that. Thank you. I'm looking for it. So I'm wearing an old one. I'm wearing my old sweater I got from the Grand Canyon. Like, I kid you not, this sweater is probably 15 years old.
That's old. It's older than the kids.
Yeah, I know. It definitely is older than the kids. I got this on a gift shop at the Grand Canyon Railroad when I went there with my parents. They used to have a house out there at the Grand Canyon Railroad. Actually, it was in the town of Williams, which is...
I've never been there.
Yeah, it's in Arizona. It's in northern Arizona, close to where they have like the railroad, the big town. It's like an old small town, like Route 66 runs through that.
Oh, fun.
And it's like it's in the mountains where there's a lot of green and a lot of like trees, and they had a lake.
Okay.
My parents, they owned a lake house out there. They used to anyways, and they would go out there all the time, and that's where I got this sweater.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Well, look at that. It's making you sentimental, which is fantastic.
Yes, thank you so much. So Kristine is in our car, like we said, and we are doing this remote podcast via our Clean Feed account, which is a cleanfeed.net. It's how we do the broadcast remotely, and Kristine is doing this from the front seat of her car. Check that out.
I know, it's pretty tech savvy. It comes in handy when I am in the middle of a busy day and we want to still be able to chat with each other and deliver to you a bonus episode because you are our loyal subscribers, and we definitely want to help you have a little bit of midweek motivation. Right, Chris?
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you. And speaking of that.
Ooh, what you got for us?
Did you know what happened this morning when I woke up?
What happened?
Well, I was on my phone and I was checking the stats for our podcast, and I always check the numbers and stuff like that, like everybody does.
Right.
And then this morning I click on the all-time number list, and it turns out that the Chris and Kristine show had just passed over the 4,000 mark.
That's amazing. I cannot even believe that. It seems like just yesterday that we were at like 50 listens, and we were like so excited that we had 50 people listen to us.
Oh, right. Or anybody was listening for that matter.
Right.
Because,
and not just us.
Right. Because when we started this thing, when did we start the thing, Kristine? Was it in August?
No, we started in August because I remember our 5th week was the week that we got engaged.
Okay, so we did this in August. It's funny how Kristine actually remembers this by like engagement dates. I kind of remember it by like episodes and trips and things like that. But anyways, we started in August, and we had no idea how to even do this thing because I heard of podcasts. I've listened to podcasts before, and I thought they're kind of cool, and I always wanted to do one, but I had no idea on what you got to do to actually make it happen, you know?
Right, yeah.
So when I actually, I'm like, RSS feed, what is that? I don't even know what that even means, you know? So,
yeah.
you have to first, record it with a microphone, obviously. And then you have to download it to your computer and save it on your computer. Then you have to submit it to a podcast hosting site, which you pay for, and they host your actual episode on the site. And from there, it gets like beamed out to these different places like Apple and Google and Spotify, all those places. It gets beamed out to them from the source. I didn't know that until I had to figure it out as we went along.
Yeah, neither of us found it. And a funny story, actually, when we got going and we started to submit our RSS feed to different sites that you can access to listen to podcasts, we totally screwed up, and we actually got rejected from Apple.
Oh, that's right.
Right? We got rejected from Apple a couple of times, and we were like, we are determined. Like, that is one of the ones that we really want to be on because that's like the big time, and we want to be on the Apple podcasts. And so I remember us like sitting down and trying to figure out like, what was it? Was it our artwork? Was it our intro songs? Was it our quality? And then I think that, Chris, I was reflecting back on that today. I think that's when you really started to hone in on not just us having a fun podcast, but really having a high quality podcast. And that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's become your obsession. It's become
yes, it is my obsession.
It's your fascination. We're going to say it in a positive light. It's your fascination. You want excellence. And I think that it started then. It's like when we got rejected at first, it's like, this will never happen again. And so That's been really fun to see and to listen back. And so for our listeners that have been with us all along this journey, we'd encourage you to even listen to some of those earlier episodes and listen now and see like how far we've come. Because I will say so much of that is Chris's dedication and commitment to being an excellent producer and sound engineer. So babe, great job. I'm so proud of you as being our executive producer and our sound engineer. You are incredible, and the numbers show for it. So congratulations. If I could clap right now, I would. Hooray for 4,000 listens, 6 continents, numerous countries and states, and people's lives are being impacted. I would say that.
That is very true. That is very true.
Yeah. I do have a story that I'd love to share, like a success story. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was talking with one of our listeners that happens to be a friend, and this individual was sharing how our most recent episode that we just published about International Women's Day was very eye-opening when this person that was listening didn't really know that the Equal Rights Amendment still hadn't been passed, and how we started having a conversation. So what do we do? Like, how do we take action? What do we do to ensure that women have equal rights within our country? And I just paused after that conversation, and I was so proud of us using our voice, not just for fun and for inspiration, but also for good. Like, it's making people think, and I'm so proud of us. So great job.
Yeah, that is very true. I did hear a story about that, about how people, because of their podcast, have really inspired and touched other people. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, that if I can bring inspiration and joy to one other person out there listening, that kind of makes it all worthwhile.
And the world needs inspiration and joy, right?
Absolutely.
I know I need it every day.
Oh, yeah. Well, I do it in the form of a coffee cup.
It's your joy in a cup every morning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So, hey, Kristine.
Yes, sir.
We did tell the world that our boys started their very own podcast called the Gem Boys Podcast.
Yeah, Gem Boys Show. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the Gem Boys Show. G-E-M.
J-E-M.
J-A-E-M. The Gem Boys Show.
Yeah.
And just yesterday, speaking of Apple, Kristine just informed me yesterday that the Boys Show podcast is now officially official on the Apple Podcast Network.
I know, and I was looking at it today, and they already have 3 ratings on there.
What?
3 5-star ratings, and I'm only responsible for 1. So.
I'm responsible for 1 too. So maybe
one others.
Maybe Ezekiel did the other one. I don't know.
Or maybe one of their loyal listeners. And so it's really, I don't know. I sometimes feel like crying. Like, it's so inspiring when you see your children start to take an interest in things that you're passionate about and want to share that with you. And our boys are so excited to be able to use their own voice to talk about things and to discover their own interests and things they have in common. And I love it. I was sitting on the bed while Chris, because he's their producer and their talent manager.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so he's taking on lots of different hats here, but it was your thing, Chris, and I loved sitting there and sitting back and watching you interact with our boys. And I will be honest, honey, I didn't even tell this to you that
what?
I did start crying while I was sitting there on the bed.
What?
Because in a happy way, because I thought of, when we go through divorces and it's really hard and you think in the midst of that, like, you're never going to find happiness. And as I was sitting there hearing how happy Ezekiel was to be interacting with you and the boys, it filled my heart with so much joy that this thing that I've prayed for, this relationship that I've prayed to have, that God provided more than I could have ever hoped for. And
Aww.
I got very teary, and it really touched me, and it just reminded me of how quickly things can change in a positive way and how far you can come in a short amount of time, and just made me so incredibly thankful for the man that you are and the role model you are for our boys.
Oh, well, you're so very welcome. And by the way, everybody who's listening, the Gem Boys Show podcast is going to be done the exact same way we're doing this podcast.
Yep.
It's going to be done via clean feed, because Ezekiel is going to be home in Fresno and my kids are going to be down here in San Diego. Now, how do you do a podcast together? Well, I'll tell you how you do it all together. You use clean feed. It's going to keep everything in sync. It's going to keep everything together. I'll be able to record it on this end, and it should sound as it does right now, that we are in the same room, but we're not.
Right. And one of the things that it does is, in addition to helping them build a podcast, it's helping them build a relationship, which is what this podcast has been about for Chris and I too. You learn how to communicate and create together and navigate different personalities and making sure to share the air. And if you're ever thinking about starting a podcast, then I would definitely reach out to Chris or reach out to me, and we can provide you some tips on how to get started. And we definitely would encourage you, if you're a couple, to use this as a fun activity to help use your voice and build your relationship.
Yeah,
right,
it could be like a therapy session, or it could be just, or if you guys are super into one thing, like maybe you're Star Wars fans, or maybe you're into Pokemon, or maybe you're into rom-coms,
Yep.
or whatever. There is a podcast about everything out there and anything out there, so you can make it happen. It's not that hard to do. Trust me, if we can do it, you can do it. And Kristine, thank you so much for joining us today on this remote podcast by Clean Feed, and I hope you have a wonderful day and stay dry out there.
Thank you, and thanks everybody for joining us for the bonus episode. We're so grateful for you.
And we'll see you guys next time.